What's going on with it, family? It's going to be a really quick live. Give it a couple minutes here just to kind of get notified real fast. Not going to be long right now. I'm trying to get some other things in the works right now. I've had a video trying to upload since it was supposed to have been released around 10:30 this morning, and as you can see, we're still waiting around for it to get released. It's kind of crazy because it was the same video that I put up on TikTok this morning earlier, and for some reason they don't want to let it get released on YouTube. Thank you again to the moderators that are here. Appreciate you. Oh, now they just released, how hilarious. Now they finally released the video that was scheduled to be released around 10:30 this morning. Here now it's 7:30. So, you know, almost 10 hours for a 10-minute video to go. And actually I taken it down and try to repost it. And that's what's going on right now, you know. And then I wanted to talk real fast because on my TikTok channel, they took down one of my videos and accused me of bullying. I was like, wow. I guess now me reading some books and giving my breakdown on certain books and history is considered bullying now. You know, but the thing is this. You guys, you other nations have had thousands of years to talk about us any way you wanted to. You have, you know, degraded us, made us seem as if we are absolutely nothing, made us seem as if we had no history whatsoever, and now we're giving you the alternative to all the things that you've been saying, and instead of actually, you know, going after the information, you just accuse me of bullying. And I'm like, I don't know what part of what is facts now is bullying. How is that? I mean, first of all, I didn't ask anybody to come on the channel. I'm not asking people to come over here. I'm not begging people to come over here. I'm not like, hey, you know, you need to come over here and listen to me. Everything that I say is correct. Everyone else is wrong. I don't do any of that kind of stuff. You know, I said, all we're doing is giving you an alternative. As you can see, you don't have an opportunity to hear the other side. You only get to hear their side. That's all that you hear about is their side. Oh, these people are the Americans. These people are the Native Americans. These people are the Mayans. These people right here, and they're the only ones. They all look exactly the same, and they're all the Mayans right here. Oh, these are the Native Americans. Oh, okay, well, these guys are the Mexicans right here. Okay, well, these are people from Bullies. You know? And it's just showing you that, like, but now that the Most High has given us more information where we can now see through all of this. You can see through all the lies now. And the fact that they have no response. They have no comeback. Now it's bullying. That's what we're being accused of, or that's what I'm being accused of. And he took a video down. I'm like, all the stuff that I see on social media, and somehow my videos is blocked or taken down because of bullying. You know, and it's like, and the title of it was, you accuse Hebrew Israelites of being a hate group. But let's take a look at your history and show you who the real people who are involved, and you know, and pretty much involved in a hate group. And I'm like, so we're just going through history. Like, you guys keep accusing us of being hateful and everything else, but you guys are the ones that have set up everything based off the color of our skin or the one drop rule. We had to deal with being treated like absolute garbage forever. You know, and we're still being treated like garbage. I'm going to be bringing out some more information from my trip down to the Yucatan Peninsula, because like I said, there's so much confirmation And, you know, when you understand like numerology and numbers, you realize that there's nothing that is, nothing's left for chance. The Most High gives you clues is just if you're open to see them. And I told you about the numbers 3, 6, and 9, like the number 12 making the number 3. And all over the place when I was getting ready to go on this trip, the number 12 was popping up everywhere. The amount that I had to pay for the trip added up to 12. Okay? Our flight number added up to 12. The gate that we had to meet at for our flight away added up to 12. I was reading, I had a sticker, which was a bus number, okay, which was like 2028 equals 12. 12 tribes, of course. I mean, all of these numbers were just adding up to 12. And it was just like, we were just cracking up. We're like, all right, Most High. So you got jokes. You know, all these things were all just adding up to 12, which is also 3. So to me, it was like, you know, when I was trying to book the trip, you know, the prices kept jumping up because I was kind of waiting till like the last minute. And I had like these trips that were kind of sitting there waiting. Like I had maybe 4 trips that were set up to go. And I hit like refresh, and all of the trips jumped up like $500, $600, $700 like this, like in one evening. But one trip didn't move. One trip's price stayed the same, and it added up to 12. And I was like, okay, Most High, if you really want me to go, I'm gonna refresh this. I refreshed this thing like 5 or 6 times, and the numbers never changed. The price never changed. So I was at, then that's my key that this is what you want me to do, you know. And that's what we know. It was like, so we went, and it was just a absolutely awesome experience, because just to be there and to, you know, experience that power, those ley lines that are there, but also to see it with your own eyes. And the video that I just released right here, you know, that just barely got released, was like, hey, look, where did the Native Americans that made their covenant with the Spaniards, where did they go? What were they promised, and where did they go? Because of course they had some kind of a deal, right? They had some kind of a deal with the Spaniards. So would it kind of make sense that, hey, you can help us take down these Israelites, and then, you know, you get to play the part of the people of these lands? How does that sound? We're going to let you act as if you are the Israelites. You are the Mayans. How does that sound? We'll give you the opportunity to, you know, go around and portray yourselves as the Most High's chosen people. Sound like a deal? Oh, well, hold on, though. That's all you can do. The actual people who actually have control of the lands behind the scenes are going to be us. We're going to be the ones that still have control here. So in public, to keep the lie going for these Israelites, for these true Mayans, we're going to let you play that part. Does that sound good? Hey, you know what? When we go and visit there, we can treat you like crap. You can't really, because you can just tell, like, these other nations are treated like royalty, you know, compared to the ones that live there. And I was just noticing that, like, just the spirit. You can just, now, you know, we're open to these spirits. We're open to these vibes and these energies that we feel, you know? So you can just totally sense that. So it's like, you know, they beat down those people that live there. And I think you guys made a bad bet. You backed the wrong horse, you know? Because like I say, you get to play the part, but I mean, when we went to Chichen Itza, you can see like all of the people that live there live in like horrible conditions. They live in like squalor. You know, the homes are like huts. Okay. And it did not, but I'm like, hold on. You got supposedly one of the 7 wonders of the world right here. You got one, like the 7 wonders of the world. You got just busloads of people who paid all this money to come and see this area. Come and see Chichen Itza. Where's all this money going to? Where's all this money going to? Because it's damn sure not going to the people that claim to be Mayans, because they're living in like utter poverty, And they go in, and they like go out of their way to sell you things and sell stuff to you. But you can tell, like, if there's this many people coming every day from opening to close, then you should not be living in this condition. So that it shows you that, like, just like here, even the natives here, they still get treated like crap. They still get treated like dirt, but they just get elevated a little bit more than we do. They get elevated a little higher than we are, but they're still treated like crap. So what I'm seeing is that this is something that happens from area to area, land to land. These people really don't have control of their lands. We know behind the scenes that it's still the Gentiles who rule. They might give you that thought. They might, present that rouge to the world. But we know really that they're not making any decisions. So that was like a huge, like, confirmation to me. Like, look, man, if supposedly you guys are the Mayans and you supposedly are the rulers of those lands, why am I looking at white Jesus everywhere? Why, if you have all of this, deep understanding, and you've been blessed with, all this exoteric understanding, why are you still worshiping white Jesus? I'm looking at white Jesus everywhere. I'm looking at the Virgin Mary, white Virgin Mary, everywhere. So I'm like, so you supposedly built this magnificent pyramid right here, El Castillo, which we know is not true, but hey, but because in one side of your mouth you told the world that you did not build these pyramids, right? You have not built these pyramids, but then on the other hand you say that you're the Mayans. So I was like, it is not making any sense. What it does make sense is that possibly it seems as if these people are the ones that made these covenants with these other nations to play a certain part and be a little bit elevated a little bit more than we are for the opportunity to play our part. But ultimately they make no decisions, just like we don't make any decisions. They make it seem as if, if you go and vote, you have the right to vote, that things are going to get better for us. But we know that that's not the case. So maybe that's all part of it, because just like, Noah made a covenant with his sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, that if you go and take other people's lands, that you curse your children. You're going to curse your children, because you went and took, someone else's lands. That when they did that, you assumed our identity, you assumed our lands, and that you have pretty much, done a horrible job for your parents. I'm sorry, for your children. So it's just kind of like just starting to make a lot more sense. And what I've noticed is that, like, before, I want to say around 2008 is when they stopped letting people go up and down the stairs at the pyramid there in Chichen Itza. That I guess there were some videos on TikTok of people actually going inside of Chichen Itza. 2008, okay? So pretty much they know the timing, relative timing. So they don't want us touching that area. They have everything barricaded where you cannot go on to these ley lines. You can't get all the way on there. But we can get close enough. Our ancestors are there. They're there and empowering us. Those ley lines will activate you. I said, because they're waiting for us. These lands are waiting for us. They're our lands. They're waiting, and because look, the whole world is out of order. The whole world is upside down. And the Most High is going to fix all this. This is why the Most High is going to remove these other nations, because they have overstepped their bounds. They are trying to tell us where we can go on our own lands. They were trying to tell us what we can touch on our own lands. There was a place it's called a Valladolid, something like that. It's also like a place around Chichen Itza that has like the oldest Catholic church. I want to say in the 1500s, this Catholic church was established. So you know that this church here was established on some pretty powerful ley lines. So what they do, but when we got there, I wanted to make sure I kind of went into there, you know, and tried to ground it or whatever else. But the whole area was closed off. I'm like, isn't this a church? Shouldn't everyone be welcome? Shouldn't we be welcome to walk in? But those churches were all closed down. Doors were closed at the church. Gates were closed so you couldn't even walk in, and everything was shut down. So it just lets you know that they know that there's power in these areas. That's why they founded these areas and established these churches there so that we couldn't go in. Just like in Chichen Itza, they were actually had a door open, and I'll share some of that information, where they were going in and out, but they were blocking the doorway. They were blocking the doorway so we couldn't see in. The guy was, you know, every time I kind of tried to, when I was doing the live, I was trying to get close to kind of do like a, you know, like a little video so we can kind of see it, and the video would shut down in that area. So, I mean, if it's just a bad connection or is there some power there that was messing with the live, I'm not sure. I said, but I took videos, so I'll be making some videos and bringing up some information. But like I said, it's just hilarious how they take it. They took, you know, almost 10 hours to release this video that I, you know, had scheduled to be released earlier here on YouTube. But that's the way that it is right now. You know, it's like, look, this is not bullying. This is an alternative to the lies that you've been pushing. The Most High allowed you thousands of years, and especially the last 400 to 500 years, to, you know, go around, take our information, hide it, you know, and then you just rebrand it and say that you're the ones that came up with it. What you're gonna understand is this, and I'm gonna show you. This is it's a pattern that they've set up. In Egypt, when the Greeks came in and took over Egypt, they made it sound like they went and burned all these libraries and everything else. That's not the case, okay? What they did was they formed, these places already had colleges, okay? They already had colleges like in Egypt, okay? So what they did was they made their learned people in Greece come down, and they established these colleges there to teach the Greeks. They made the Egyptian priests teach these Greeks. And as they died off, then the Greeks assumed the positions of being an authority on these subjects. So when they always make it sound like they come into these areas for gold and for silver, that might be one thing. But the main thing is to get their hands on this information. Because we pretty much had like secret societies. We would not share our information with the Gentiles. We don't even share it with all of our own people. You had to prove yourself to be able to even get this information within our own tribes. The Gentiles are just, hey man, they're just assed out. They're not getting any of this, right? So now when they got the upper hand, and Most High gave them their opportunity to be on top, that's when they just, you know, went in and then took over the colleges, made the priests in Egypt teach the Greeks. And then eventually they came up with they said, oh, the Greeks came up with all these books. Like one person came up with books on like 60 different subjects, which is like physically impossible. Okay? So they did that in Egypt. You don't think they did the same thing when they came over here? See, they came over here and supposedly they said these priests came in and they just burned all these books. And then after they burned all these books, then they felt bad. And then all of a sudden they wanted to go and do all this research. I'm like, why don't you just get the research in the first place? Why would you burn all the books and then say, oh, well, we need someone to help us. We're going to interpret their information. Now you got like Sahagun and Landa, these priests and whatever else, saying that they went and talked to these people, and they're now rewriting the history of the Mayans, of the Aztecs. We know they did the same thing. They came in. We had colleges here. Actually, the original colleges were with our people over here. I'm sure over there also in Ireland. And when they got the opportunity to go in, then they forced our priests to teach them. And then once our priests died off and they got information, then all of a sudden, like, oh, the priests all of a sudden now want to be the ones teaching our history. Why? There's nothing new under the sun. That's what the Bible tells you. So if that's what they did with the Egyptians over there, what makes you think they can do exactly the same thing over here? I'm sure that's exactly what they did. I'm sure that's exactly what they did, because you're going to realize in some of these books I'm going to show you that many of the words that they had in these secret societies, like even in Egypt, in India, and whatever else, the words were actually originally Mayan words. So they're saying these Mayan sayings in Egypt, in India, in Mesopotamia, in all these different areas. And it would make sense. Like, look, they talk about just like the landscape. Like, you can see the stars here better. They're talking about how in Yucatan, like the way that it's set up, you can see the stars better. And just like they set up that Catholic telescope that they said it was called Satan in Arizona. Then they have their other telescopes down in like Peru, because you can see everything better, because these lands, are our lands. So therefore we would have more access to astronomy, astrology, and better understanding of it here. You see? So that's what's been hidden. And that's why you got all these different people playing the parts. You got, and just like I showed you in that video last night about white, who they say that were the white bearded people, were these black people, these black figurines, but they called them white, because they know who was already here. And that's been the whole charade this whole time. That's been the whole charade, that these other people are the people. I'm like, look, man, if you're not bringing out any truth, and you're just you're being beaten down by the other nations, and you're not even like fighting back, or you're not even bringing out information, you're not even talking about you loving that Cesare Borgia, you're loving that, that Virgin Mary, then how exactly is it then that you're supposed to be a light to the world here at the end, when you're just not, you're caught up in the, your oppressor's religion? You see? So this is like, it was huge to go right before this switch, right before Pluto goes into Aquarius, into the 9th house. This is why the Most High moved me to go there and do that, because we're going to get massive downloads. We already are. I can speak for myself. That the Most High, he's starting to connect many things. When you have your eyes opened and your heart is open and willing to accept these signs that the Most High has given you. And like I said, the people, the original people that are, they're very prideful, because some of them, because they try to make it seem as if they're the experts on the Mayan culture, because they're the Mayans. But look, I'm like, look, man, I'm looking at many of the people that were etched in all of these walls and these murals, and all of you guys, are all confederate with hiding the fact that there were so-called black people on all these murals. There are so-called Negroid-looking people on all these murals. So it's not like we're just making this stuff up. And the fact that now you have covered up, or you have all these rules into what you can look at, what you can see. Did you know also you can't take in like expensive, like really high resolution cameras? They don't allow you to do that. I was like, that's weird. What's the big deal with you? Because see, you can probably zoom in better, and you can actually see many of these murals and many of these things that they're not allowing you to get close to now. So maybe with good camera equipment, you can actually get pictures of things they don't want you to get pictures of. So I thought that was very interesting about the cameras. No taking, if you had expensive cameras with like great lenses to be able to get this information and be able to check this stuff out, nope, can't take that in. I said they allowed you to rent some cameras, but I really doubt that these rentals were going to be anywhere as nice as some of these other, cameras that these people could bring in. Because I have books that have like well, I have some of the statues that they hide, that they've hidden, that showed people of Negroid features. But actually, even in the engravings in the wall, where they show you, they show a Hebraic-looking man, and the brother has a beard, full beard, and an afro. And then in the other book, same author, all of a sudden that picture is gone, and they're now showing you a different picture. So this is just showing you that there's huge changes coming, and they're trying to, hide everything, and other people are still Confederate. They're not saying anything. Not one person. I could tell people were uncomfortable with me being there. Not just at Chichen Itza, but even in Cancun in general. Just the looks, that I was getting, my family was getting, which I don't care. I'm like, good. I'm glad you're uncomfortable. I'm glad I'm messing up your vacation. I said, because that's what we're here to do. We're here to stir up the pot. We're not here to get along. We're not here to, hey, man, just accept me, please. Just, hey, can I be part of your group? Hey, man, can I come hang out with your family here? Hey, man, what are you guys doing later on tonight? Hey, man, we can all get together. Hell no. That's not what I'm here for. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to make friends. I'm not here to make you feel good. I'm not here to make you feel comfortable, because you did not care about any of that while you were enjoying your blessing. While you were enjoying your blessing, you want us as far away from you as possible. Well, you want us close enough to exploit, but you want us far enough so you can enjoy, this blessing that you've been able to have for a little bit. You don't want us to remind you of the fact that, hey, man, eventually this tab's going to come due. You don't want us around to even remind you of that. And that's okay. That's okay. I said, but I rather enjoy that. I got my native jewelry on, got my native shirts on, I stand out because I'm pretty tall and pretty big. So I like that. That's what we're supposed to do. We're not supposed to blend in. I'm not here to blend in. Exactly, Miss Ebby. They do get very uncomfortable because they know our energies, right, are on a higher frequency. I'm not there, to just get along and make you feel comfortable. That's what I was taught earlier in my life, about wanting acceptance from them, wanting to be accepted, and just going at it with just love them, kill them with kindness is what I used to hear. But not anymore. I really never felt comfortable with that anyways. But now it's a new day. It's a new time. And so you can say that we're being hateful. I said, I'm not here cussing, yelling, acting a fool. I'm not even inviting you over here. And if this stuff isn't for you, doesn't resonate with you, please unsubscribe and go on to one of them Constantine Christian channels. You know what I'm saying? But here, if you are drawn to this, I don't care what color you are. That's not for me to dictate if this is for you or not. That is for you and the Most High. But I'm not going to diminish who I am and what I know to make you feel comfortable. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm not here to keep quiet, because that's what you guys have always wanted, us to just keep quiet so that you can enjoy, so that you can enjoy your blessing. You have enjoyed your blessing. Great. I'm glad you had a great time with that. But now that time is quickly coming to an end. And as long as we're here, as long as the Most High gives us the knowledge and understanding, and the Most High gives us the opportunity to get this information and bring it out, that's exactly what we are going to do. So, it'd be damned if we're going to be quiet so that you can enjoy your blessing. I said, because now we're here. We're here and we're not going anywhere. The Most High is going to restore everything back to us. Thanks for being here, family. Shalom.